Back in jail, Greene County deputies arrested Dustin Hagerman last night for resisting arrest and driving with a suspended license. Now, he may look familiar. He's a career criminal featured in our news before. Elizabeth Van Mitri spoke with Greene County's prosecutor about why Hagerman and others like him continue the cycle of being arrested and released over and over again.
24-year-old Dustin Hagerman's mother caught him burglarizing a neighbor in 2007.
Burglaries, felony thefts, failure to appear on these, as well as numerous traffic and resisting arrest charges.
Warrant charges tonight against a man accused of stealing multiple vehicles, campers, and equipment.
The name may sound familiar. The face has been on your TV before. Dustin Hagerman was arrested again overnight. He's accused of trying to outrun a deputy who clocked him at over 100 miles an hour. He already has another pending case in court right now,
which is in circuit court awaiting trial, and he has a pending motion to revoke probation.
Greene County prosecutor Dan Patterson says Hagerman successfully completed a treatment court, but now he faces a longer sentence. Greene County deputies, Springfield police, the U.S. Marshal, everyone knows his name. Property crimes in Springfield are already high. Staffing in our Springfield Police Department property unit is low. We're seeing staffing shortages across the board.
Frustrating, because you're typically not going to send a property offender away forever because that's just not in the range of punishment for the offenses.
Patterson says that he hopes that interventions like work done by the Department of Corrections and Probation and Parole and the diversion courts will work.
But sometimes you're left repeatedly sending that person away or into supervision to try to deal with it. And yeah, it's frustrating.
Reporting from Springfield, I'm Elizabeth Van Mitri.